Inside the United States Capitol, President Donald Trump is celebrating his return to power at a luncheon with members of Congress and other officials. That is where he is as we are speaking. Soon he will review the troops as this rare indoor inauguration moves into the next phase. Okay, so I don't know if everyone can hear this and look at this. I'm at the Capitol Arena where the president is going to be coming, but right now, the biggest reaction that we have had so far, you see everybody standing up, standing ovation, all the phones are out. That is because Elon Musk is speaking here. There he is.
This is what victory feels like. Yeah! And this was no ordinary victory. This was a fork in the road of human civilization. Okay, this. You know, there are elections that come and go. Some elections are, you know, important, some are not. But this one, this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you. It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured. Thanks to you. We're gonna have safe cities, finally, safe cities. Secure borders, sensible spending, basic stuff. And we're gonna take Doge to Mars. I mean, can you imagine how awesome it will be to have American astronauts plant the flag on another planet for the first time? How inspiring would that be? You know, there's always problems.
All right, Elon Musk is speaking behind me in this room. Casey, and you have everyone standing. Everyone here is still standing. Standing ovation for Elon Musk. By far the biggest reception of the day. You saw him come out with that odd-looking salute.
Yeah.
It was odd-looking. We're going to show a screen grab of it. And as he said, to him, the future of civilization is assured now that Trump won. One of his rousing lines for this crowd.
One of his rousing lines, indeed. And yes, that salute was evocative of things that we have seen through history. And of course, we do want to bring it up to be able to take a little bit of a closer look. But I think it's worth noting that Elon Musk has started to play in politics, not just here, in the United States, but across Europe as well, including a far-right party in Germany that he has pushed. He's, of course, pressured Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister in the United Kingdom. This is something, there are some themes here for him, and as we heard here, his ambitions are sweeping. He came in, he said, this is what winning feels like. He also says we're going to take Doge to Mars. That, of course, an ambition of his entire life. I do find it interesting that he's touting government spending on the one hand. What got us to the moon and what's going to get us to Mars is going to be government money. We should be clear about that.
It absolutely will be. Just to look at this again, this crowd, every single person here is paying attention and they are fully engaged. He is a hero. He is a hero to them. I just want to look at that salute that he gave again. Just if anybody missed it, we'll just show it again. He's just wrapped up here. You can hear All right, so we just showed that. We just showed that.
Right. It's worth salute. It was quick. I think our viewers are smart and they can take a look at that, but it certainly was, it's not something that you typically see at American political rallies, let's put it that way.
No, it was not something that you usually would see. And it was quick, as you point out, it was very quick, but it was in a moment of intensity for him as he came out dancing and then he did that. He is a hero here. In the speech, when President Trump mentioned going to Mars, that was also a standing ovation. And when Elon Musk was mentioned, he is a hero for every single person in this room. And we're inside the arena, as you can see. That's the outside, but inside here, this is the atmosphere, and this is the tone.
And, I have to say, too, Aaron, I'm just struck, and we were talking about this a little bit earlier.
Yes.
These billionaires, right, the role that they are playing, and I know you've covered business for years and years. I have never seen, as a political and campaign reporter, a Capitol Hill reporter, billionaires, business people play the kind of public role that we have seen them play today, both in the ceremony, and then to have one of them come here and essentially function as someone rallying the crowd from a political perspective. I think it's worth stopping and dwelling on it for a moment, especially because this is, again, the working class coalition that got Donald Trump elected. There is a big difference between how many of Donald Trump's supporters live and how these billionaires live their lives. And of course, Trump has let them in to the very center of the government, and we really saw that on display today.
And sitting today, Casey, with the family.
Yes.
With the family. It wasn't just even present. It was when you think about how many elected officials weren't able to fit in that room. But you had Mark Zuckerberg
walking by, shaking hands with each of those CEOs. I thought that was remarkable.
It was remarkable. It was a remarkable moment, and I agree with you. I've never seen anything like it. It is worth dwelling on it because it is going to be something that becomes definitional for what this administration actually is. Now, we do expect when Trump gets here, he is going to be sitting on the red desk behind me that you can see in the distance, and he's going to sign about 200 executive orders. That's what they've been saying here. Well, already we know that he is going to be starting with pardons, and I want to talk about that. He has issued. Trump has said he's going to be pardoning nonviolent offenders commuting the sentence of violent offenders involved with January 6th, and it came immediately on the heels of Joe Biden's decision to issue multiple preemptive pardons before leaving office today. And now, former president was trying to shield those, he said, who could face revenge from the Trump administration. And on that list of preemptive pardons was the former Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger. You know him, of course. He was a member of the January 6th committee. He joins me now on the phone. So, former Congressman Kinzinger, I appreciate your time. There's a lot I want to ask you about, but can I first just start with you being on the January 6th Select Committee? Did you have any idea that this preemptive pardon was coming, or did you just find out about it today?
No, I didn't. I just found out about it. I've been very clear. I'm not seeking it out. I don't want one. And actually, I did the cardinal sin of actually trying to sleep in today, and woke up to my phone being blown up, and I saw this. And so this pardon isn't one that you necessarily have to accept or reject because it's just a broad pardon to the January 6th committee members. And I think the sad thing for me is that, look, the pardon was put out not because we broke the law, but because we enforced it, because we did what we were asked to do by the House of Representatives, and we got people answers. And, look, let's be clear with what's coming. Donald Trump didn't hide it. He's been very clear what he wants to do, and America voted for that. So here we are.
Here we are, and as we look at the flag flying over the Capitol and over the White House, they are now, of course, flying full mast because of the executive order, right? And this would be a day, it was at half mast at the beginning of the day because of Jimmy Carter's death. That has been changed by executive order, happened immediately, Congressman. We have seen dramatic changes already in these first hours, and that's before these anticipated up to 200 executive orders possibly are signed in the Capitol Arena where I am in just moments. But when the president spoke, he talked about you and your former colleague, Congressman Liz Cheney, getting these pardons specifically. And I don't know if you have heard the exact words. Someone may have sent you a quote, but because I know you were trying to sleep in, Congressman, let me just play for you what the president said about you.
Why are we helping some of the people? Why are we helping Liz Cheney? I mean, Liz Cheney is a disaster. She's a crying lunatic and crying Adam Kinzinger. He's a super crime. I never saw the guy not crying. He's always crying. I look at him. I remember years ago he was actually on my side. And then one day, when you don't want to kill people in wars, they turn against you. Liz Cheney hated the concept of not going to war with everybody.
So he calls you a super crier. I mean, what does that say to you about where we are?
Well, first off, I didn't sleep that late. It was like 8 o'clock. So, but no, look. I mean, this is what we're going to expect for 4 years. It's just childish, right? We literally did our job, and we embarrassed him. We showed that for 187 minutes he sat on his butt while his people tried to overthrow the government, and that embarrassed him. The idea of saying that, we're out there begging for war. I mean, I'm a veteran, for God's sakes. I'm in the military, for God's sakes. That's a silly accusation, but that's what he does. I mean, again, it's going to be 4 years of making up stuff, exaggerating, and punching down. This should be a day, this is the crazy thing, this should be a day of celebration for Donald Trump. He should be standing up there unifying. I saw one of your commentators, I won't call out by name, saying that, it was great to watch Donald Trump say these things in front of Joe Biden. Like, what kind of vengeance, what kind of sore winner are you? You won. Celebrate that. Put a vision out for people instead of continuing to look back and punch down. But again, this is, I think, the thing that unifies this movement, and now they got to govern.
So, Adam Schiff, Senator Schiff, had served with you on the January 6th committee, Congressman. His comment on this was he was concerned about the precedent that former President Biden is now set by issuing these preemptive pardons. He found that concerning, and he did not think they were necessary. Do you share that concern that this has actually now set a precedent, and a precedent that is not a precedent for the rule of law and an independent Justice Department?
Not necessarily. Look, I do agree that it was unnecessary because we are protected by speech and debate, even if you think we did anything wrong, which of course we didn't. But then you have to litigate that through the courts. I don't know if this is precedent-setting or not. I mean, Donald Trump's threats are precedent-setting. The threats to go after people that did their job basically as they were directed to from the House of Representatives. Let's keep in mind that even Kevin McCarthy put members on this committee. He then pulled them off later, but he put members on this committee. He recognized the legitimacy of it. So, look, what Donald Trump is doing is unprecedented, and, I hope we can get back to normal in 4 years. We'll see.
All right. Well, Congressman, I appreciate your time. Congressman Adam Kinzinger received that preemptive pardon from former President Joe Biden earlier today. Kash Patel.